All right, friends and neighbors, we're going to go back in time to the old hymn, I'd Rather Be an Old-Time Christian. And Melvin and I love to play it on the fiddle as a snappy fiddle tune. And
He's a great West Virginia fiddler.
That's a great way to do it. But it's also a nice song to do at any speed, as a lot of hymns are. So in the key of D, I'm tuned to a double D, like double C, a whole step higher. And we'll try it for you now. I'd rather be an old-time Christian.
And this is a request. And if you want to hear Carl sing the song, the whole song, watch the beginning of his guitar video.
Okay, here we go. Anything I know, there's nothing like an old-time Christian, Lord, with a Christian love to show. I'm walking in the grand old highway, and I'm telling everywhere I go, I'd rather be an old-time Christian, Lord, than anything I know. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erynn.
You're welcome.
All right, let's slide on into the banjo scrutiny seat there. We're going to isolate a little bit of licks there. It's a beautiful melody, kind of stands out.
No scrutiny in these banjos.
No scrutiny?
Just
okay. No scrutiny.
Superbness.
Yeah, it's just we're going to learn or navigate the tune there, which would be good. It's a great song, and it's a good melody and good words, though. So it's good to know some gospel hymns there for folks, because there's often somebody that wants to hear a hymn. So this would be a good one to put in your repertoire there. So the main thing, you can play it low and you can play it high, which I love that. So I'll kind of prop my banjo up here. You can see it a little better. Let's just check our tuning for a second. So I've got an A on the short string, and the third string's a low A. And then the thickest string we got is a D. Second string's a D. And then we got an E, with kind of the mysterious E. Kind of a lovely haunting sound, just the open double D tuning. So the melody there, I think what I'm going to do is we got some slides, and the fiddle does a lot more notes, and I'm doing a little less notes, but try to get a lot of the ones that Melvin does, and maybe some that he doesn't do. But the start's going to be, you're going to hit like a hammer to open 2, slide 2 to 4, and I'm not even putting down the chord. We kind of got a nice haunting chord. I'm using the open strings a lot for my brushes. So hammer, open 2, slide 4, brush thumb, and just keep that 4th fret for our melody note, low, brush again, and slide back the way you came, 4, 2, open. So let me just do that phrase a few times. Let's just do our first phrase. And that's I'd rather be an old-time Christian, rather be an old-time Christian. So hammer, slide, brush, note, brush, slide back, open, open. On the fiddle, ba-ba-dum, he's getting a lot of those open D's there with the unison sound. So let's do that a few times, nice and slow. And it comes in on the 4th beat, like 1, 2, 3, hammer, slide, slide back, open string with that little 5th string. Let's do that a few times. 1, 2, go. That's not too bad. And we'll do it up high in a minute too. So just try to get this melody start to, etch it in our brains a little bit there. Because if you can sing a song, they always say, if you can sing it, you can play it easier. It comes quicker, and I think that's true. So here we go. 1, 2, go. Not too bad. One more time. Hammer, slide, note, brush, slide back the way you came. Good. Now we get into one of the biggest landmarks. Has a nice climbing. Anything I know. Pretty dramatic climb. And it's going to be at the 3rd string. It's just the top of the scale. Open, 2, 4, and the second string. And you put that little second fret down to get a D chord. Good place to check your tuning. So that phrase sounds like this. I'm hitting just the open brush again. And getting the 2, I'm putting the 5th string in between these notes. 2nd fret, 3rd string with the 5th after. 4th fret on the 3rd with the 5th after. And the 2nd string open and put our little chord down. So our next phrase sounds like this. Might check my 5th string. So let's do those 2 together one time, okay? 1, 2, go, low, slide, back the way you came. And I have a little lead in right here on the low strings. He doesn't exactly do this, but I think it's so pretty on the banjo. 4, 5, I'm doing a little hammer or a slide. It could be a slide or a hammer. And remember that about slides and hammers. Often they can be, both work. You know, it just depends on what you like. You know, maybe what's handier sometimes, or just they sound a little. So I've got a hammer, but I like a slide too. Hammer would be 2 different fingers, 4 to 5, like a piston. A slide might be easier. 1 finger slides both frets. And the 3rd string starts that climb and skip. So I'm going to do that whole first line for you. Okay, 1, 2, go. And now I get into some of the things that Melvin does with his bow. He gets into sort of syncopated, crossing over the measures a little bit. So let's do that one more time, though, what we got, because that's half the song right there, which is pretty good. 1, 2, go. I like the slide better than the hammer. I might change that tab that I put in with a slide instead of a hammer. The next thing, when we come into that, you got 1, 2, 3, and you're going to have a brush on the chord, the first 2 strings, and it's going to be the 4th beat, 4, and you got that carries over for the first beat of the next measure, and then we have a little drop thumb on the 2nd string, well, your index on the 2nd, and your thumb gets the 3rd, and you have a little hammer on the 1st, open 2, and a brush thumb. So I'm just going to do that without putting the 2 measures together. Listen, it sounds like this. Just try this drop thumb. The index on 2nd and 3rd thumb gets the 3rd open, and then you have that little open 2 hammer on 1st and a brush of the chord and the 5th string with that brush. Let me put those 2, let me do the climbing lick with those 2 measures, and you'll see how it's setting us up for the next little phrase. So here's that. Over the measure. And it's going to keep going. Here's the next phrase I'll go ahead and show you. It's a 2 to 5 hammer. Some people might slide that because it's kind of hard to get that, get a clean 2 to 5 with your first little finger. Some people might do it like that. It might be easier to slide. You could also do an open pull off on the 2nd string. It's kind of hard. Some people like that. You hold that 1st finger down on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and you pluck the 2nd string open afterwards. And we're going to have a drop thumb. So just try this little lick here to get us ready for this. 3rd string, index finger open, and your thumb gets the 5th fret low, 4th. You're going to do that, and you're going to go back to the 4th fret with the index getting that on the right hand. Try that a few times. Index open 3rd, thumb gets the 4th string, 5th fret, and then you get the 4th fret with the index. So your crossover lick, I call it. And from there, what happens is going to be, let's see, a slide down and a hammer. And we get to an A chord here, which is going to be 2 on the 4th string and 2 on the 2nd. Let me just play that much. There's a lot going on. I'd kind of break it into almost 4 different little things to practice. And because you got the crossovers and you got some nice little, about 3 ways to do a lot of things on the banjo, which makes it kind of cool, but also can be confusing. You got to pick your favorites. So here's that whole bit there where I ended up, and that's halfway through the first part. You get to repeat it. So slide note, slide back, open note, and the climbing up the scale. And you wait. Here's it. just do that much, really slow, okay? I'm gonna try from the climbing part of the scale with a little 4 or 5 hammer or slide. 3rd string, do it really slow. Climb up. 2nd line. Brush and wait, wait. Drop, thumb, hammer, brush. You're gonna be similar, a little easier slide. Note, slide back the way you came, sing. And the same climb up. And this is going to be a little different because Melvin does something a lot of fiddlers do. Waits and does a bow rock, a little bow rock to get a cool rhythm. So it sounds like it's a note, and you wait. So it's like 1, 2, and I'm getting my thumb on the 3rd. 1, 2, and wait. We'll think like a bow rock, even though we don't have a bow, but that's okay. We got a banjo. It's a banjo rock. And again, we're going to cross that measure with the 4th beat, waiting. The same kind of thing we did earlier, and the same lick. Let me do the whole thing. So it's a lot of similarities, and it's going to be easier when we play it high in a moment. So keep that in mind. And also, just backing up the song, you could just do this D chord, alternate the 4 and 3, and do that little climb. So you could do "I'd rather be an old-time Christian," just backing up chord-wise. Open 3, the top of the scale, and back to that low string. Nothing like an old-time Christian, Lord. And you might walk down, just backing it back to the chord. Open 4 and 3, highway, and that top of the scale. I'm telling everywhere I go, old-time Christian, Lord, anything I know. So that A chord, I'd probably hit the 3rd string and the 4th sometimes. And one last thing I did on the guitar, I put a little minor in there. You could do a little walk down. It's kind of right across the street from your A chord is the 1st string, 2nd fret, and the 3rd string. Get a nice, is in B minor, actual. So for our arrangement, I'll try that. I'd rather be an old-time Christian, Lord, than anything I know. So let's work on the high part there for a second, because I think we got that. So the high part's going to be, got a nice hammer to the, and you can hit the, let's just try that. You got to hit the other note to be the 2nd string, and an open pull off. So it'd be hitting the 2nd string, index, pull off, left hand, open, pull off, and then hammer. Then you're back. Then you get to go with that same thing, the open, 2nd string, open, pull off. Then you're going to hit the 5th string, and you could hit it on the 1st string. I'm going 5th string open and 7, 9, top of the scale. So here's that much. Pull off 2nd string, 5th, 7, 9, 10. Then you stay there. Then you get to a nice little 7 and 10 hammer in the 5th string. You can slide. Hard to get either one of those, but 7 and 10 hammer I tried to do. Maybe my 1st and 3rd or little finger in the 5th string. And you have 2nd fret, pull off. So you can kind of find that. 7, 9, 10. A lot of 10, and that's hammer. That 7, 10 hammer, 5th string open, and back to here. I'll do that one more time. High, slow, 2nd string, 7, 9, 10. You're gonna stay there a while. Go here. I like this shape, 4 and 5 on the. always do 5, 7, 9, 10. I'll just sing the chorus one last time. I'd rather be an old-time Christian, or I'd rather be an old-time Christian than anything I know. There's nothing like an old-time Christian, Lord, with the Christian love to show. I'm walking in the grand old highway, and I'm telling everywhere I go, I'd rather be an old-time Christian, Lord, than anything I know. I'd rather be an old-time Christian, Lord, than anything I know. Get some ideas there. It's a nice one. So work on the backup where you could just sing it and then play it low or play it high. You got a lot of options, and try to figure out how you want to sing that I'd rather be or I'd rather be. Because I have a tendency to go I'd rather be, but I think it's really supposed to be I'd rather be an old time. Put that rather be together, rather be. So I'll work on that myself. Enjoy your banjos and enjoy playing I'd rather be an old time Christian. See ya.